Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
On today's Smart 7, the Tories fall flat in the polls, 8 Israeli soldiers killed in Rafah and lots more. It's Monday the 17th of June. It's Take Your Cat to Work Day and happy birthday Jodie Whittaker.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Last week was Manifesto Week and Thursday saw Labour release their manifesto called Change. There were no big surprises, with their plans including scrapping the Rwanda scheme in favour of a new border and security plan, cutting NHS waiting lists by 40,000 appointments every week, and charging VAT on private school fees to pay for more state school teachers. But they're already facing criticism, with health think tank the Nuffield Trust claiming Labour's plans won't fund the NHS. Shadow Health Secretary Wes Streeting was doing the rounds this weekend and says there's more to it than just the manifesto.
A manifesto is not a spending review. A manifesto is not 5 years' worth of budgets. A manifesto, in our case, is a fully costed, fully funded set of promises that we can keep and the country can afford.
Meanwhile, Lib Dem leader Sir Ed Davey's been making headlines with his political stunts, which included falling off a paddleboard into Lake Windermere 5 times last month to raise awareness about sewage dumping. He's been accused of not taking things seriously, but he says it's all about engaging voters so that the Lib Dems can make some serious gains.
I'm determined in all the seats that we can win across the blue wall against many Conservatives in the West Country and so many other places. People hear about what the Liberal Democrats stand for from our local champions because we could make real gains at this election.
It's been another rough week for the Tories, with a Telegraph poll from the weekend putting them down 4 points at 21% of the vote share and predicting they'll win just 72 seats at the general election. It comes just days after a YouGov poll ranked the Tories behind the Reform UK party, and political scientist Sir John Curtis says PM Rishi Sunak must be seething.
Conservative support is now at its lowest ever in British polling history. Mr Sunak must be beginning to doubt his decision to call the election early.
It's all led to Reform UK leader Nigel Farage declaring himself the leader of the opposition and claiming that the Tory brand is done. Former Labour MP Lord Mandelson says the Tories need to stop trying to appease Farage.
Farage is an effective politician. There's no point in denying it. But be that as it may, the job of the leader of the Conservative Party is to take that on and show an alternative to it, not to appease it.
Ukrainian President Zelenskyy's had a whirlwind June so far, visiting 12 countries across 2 continents over the last 3 weeks to meet with various world leaders. After a brief stint in Italy last week for the G7 summit, he capped off the world tour this weekend with a trip to Switzerland for the Ukrainian Peace Summit at the Bergenstock Resort. The conference saw more than 80 countries and international organisations sign a joint communiqué calling for the protection of Ukraine's territorial integrity. However, bigger nations including Brazil, India and Saudi Arabia did not sign the document. Addressing the crowd in his opening statement on Saturday, Zelensky says no one should ever be threatened by the prospect of nuclear war.
Our principles are clear. No one had the right to wage a war of aggression against a neighbor and undermine one of the basic principles of the UN Charter. No one had the right to threaten the world with nuclear weapons.
8 Israeli soldiers were killed in an explosion in Rafah this weekend in what's become the deadliest single attack on Israeli forces in Gaza since January. It comes as the Israeli military announced a daily 11-hour pause along Gaza's Kerem Shalom crossing to allow more humanitarian aid into the Strip. The UN welcomed the move, although their spokesperson claimed there'd yet to be any aid actually dispatched from Kerem Shalom. Meanwhile, Israeli PM Netanyahu says that his country must remain focused on defeating Hamas no matter the cost in a public address following Saturday's explosion.
Despite the heavy and staggering cost, we must stick to the goals of the war, the destruction of Hamas's capabilities, the return of our hostages, and the safe return of our residents to their homes, both in the north and south.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Bellingham shines in Germany and House of the Dragons back on TV. Right after this.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome back. It was a busy weekend in sport. Rory McIlroy stumbled at the last minute and saw Bryson DeChambeau win the US Open for a second time, and thousands of football fans flocked to Germany for the 2024 Euro tournament. Things got off to a very poor start for the home nations, with Scotland demolished 5-1 by hosts Germany in the tournament's opening game on Friday. England did enough to win their game, though, with an early goal from Jude Bellingham, which gave them a 1-0 win over Serbia. With Denmark and Slovenia drawing in the same group, it was enough to put England top, and captain Harry Kane was full of praise for the Real Madrid man.
Just the way he plays, the confidence he plays with, and also the way he affects games. You know, it's important for people who are playing his position to get goals and assists, and that's what he does. It's a great run into the box, and he finishes it off nicely.
Game of Thrones fans, get ready! The new season of House of the Dragon is out, and it's picking up right where Season 1 left off at the dawn of a civil war within the Targaryen family. The first episode premiered in the US on Sunday, and it's now available to catch up on Sky Atlantic in the UK. And don't forget to tune in to our sister podcast, Dragoncast, for weekly recaps, interviews and more. Self-promo aside, House of the Dragon star Matt Smith's been building the hype this week and promises the new season's even better than the last.
It is a bit like being a boxer, isn't it? You're only as good as your last fight. And you're only as good as your last episode, really. Yeah, so we're not resting on our laurels. Certainly, and we want, hopefully, the show can have the same impact and reach as it did on the last one, but we'll have to wait and see.
If you're scared of robots taking over the world, then you might want to cover your ears for this one, because the trailer for Sunny's just dropped. The new Apple TV show stars Parks and Rec's Rashida Jones as Susie, an American woman living in Japan who's gifted a robot companion by her husband's electronics company after her husband and son go missing in a plane crash. The 10-episode series premieres next month and it looks epic, so don't miss out.
Sunny, right? Does it seem normal?
Sunny? Are you okay? Don't you see, Susie? I was programmed for you.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Whether you're a morning person or a bedtime procrastinator, everyone deserves a mattress that works for their style. And you'll find the best mattress for you at Ashley. The new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley brings you one-of-a-kind body-conforming technology, making every sleep tailored to be your best. The collection also features cool-to-the-touch covers and motion absorption to help minimize sleep disruptions from partners, pets, or kids. Shop the all-new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley, in-store or online at ashley.com. Ashley, for the love of home.